I'm starting.
White and blue running through my veins. On the pitch where the glory remains. The cockerel stands brave on the crest. North London pride, this ain't no jest. From lane to the new shining ground. Echo chants where the legends are found. Heroes carved in the heart of time. We march on through grit and grime. Oh, Tottenham, Tottenham, till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire. This is my club, my only desire. Oh, Tottenham, Tottenham, till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire. This is my club, my only desire. Echoes of King and Greaves in the air. Every goal, the sound declares. Heartbeats pound like a drummer's song, marching forward, fierce and strong. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. I'm Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire. This is my club, my only desire. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. I'm Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire. This is my club, my only desire.
Hi guys, and welcome to TICTOC.
Your mic, Dermo.
Your mic, Derma.
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, and heaven's bells, and all the saints alive. Help me, Saint Peter, and Paul, and Mary, and the baby Jesus, help me. But good evening, and welcome to THFC Till We Die. Your home of Tottenham, past, present, and a very exciting future after 90 minutes tonight, as Tottenham will walk away with the Europa League and become European champions. And Rebel will be crying into his bed tonight, looking for his teddy bear, looking through his dummy, looking through his little baby sort of milkshake to cry in his United shirt and ask, why, Amarin, just why? But yeah, joining me, of course, is my usual co-host. You know I'm joking, Kev. I'm not ready. That was joking. I wasn't really taking the piss.
I'll respond shortly.
I know you will. That's what worries me. Joining me, of course, is James. How are you tonight, James?
Oh, I am so excited for this. This is game night. This is the big one. This is what it all came down to. All the hurt, all the trial, all the tribulations, all could be easily wiped out of my memory with just 90 minutes of pure Tottenham brilliance.
Yes, it. Steve, how are you, my man?
Dude, Derma, you know me, dude. I'm absolutely buzzing. I got to be honest with you. Since the final whistle against Aston Villa, I have not really been nervous at all for this one.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I've been absolutely just buzzing along and just absolutely filled with confidence, because I actually think that along with James here and along with you, that Dermot, as you so eloquently like to put it, it's been written in the stars, and I do happen to somewhat share that same sentiment. But I also think that this is an opportunity for the entire global Spurs fan base, wherever you are. If you're back in the States, or if you're north of the border, man, make sure that you're in a bar and you're packing this one and you're seeing glory, glory Tottenham Hotspur. This is our opportunity to not only wash away the pain from the season, but it's also for these players to etch their name in the history of Tottenham Hotspur being the third group to be able to hoist a European trophy. And I just want to see this team come out on firing on all cylinders and just literally put Manchester United to the sword within the first 30 minutes of this game. That's exactly what I want to see.
Look, sixth final, we've won the Cup Winners' Cup once, we've won the UEFA Cup 3 times. It's now the Europa League. 72, 84, and maybe 2025, 63. We did win the Cup Winners' Cup. The first English side to win a European trophy. The first English side to win 2 European trophies. We won everything before Manchester United. But to be fair, and all fairness and love of war, we do have Rebel from MUFC Spotlight. I don't know where Colin is. I don't know if he's popping on or he's decided to secretly put on his Spurs shirt and support the mighty Tottenham tonight. You've not been that confident, have you, Kev, to be fair? And I still think it's you're using Fergie reverse psychology. So I think secretly you're pumped, you're excited, you're ready to go, but you're absolutely using Fergie psychology, reverse psychology. You're sitting there like Dr. No out of a James Bond villain film, that you're ready to take over, stroking your red cat. That could have gone very bad somewhere along the line.
I tried to tee you up there.
Yeah, I know you did, but I didn't fall for it. How are you feeling?
I just want to mention one thing.
Yeah.
James, I think at this stage you know every single lyric to that intro, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Just wanted to get that out there. But
Yeah.
Dermot, you mentioned that you've done everything before Manchester United in Europe. Not quite everything. There's one European competition that you haven't won.
Yeah, but we
Nobody
still won the first. We were the first British club to win a European competition. You may have won a European Cup, but we were the first British side to win a European competition.
Yeah, I just going on the everything. That's all I was picking up on.
And we were the first side to win 2 European trophies. So it's all right, you going through the Fergie year saying we've done this, we've done that. No. Tottenham have been there and done it before. Even you woke up and had your breakfast as a baby.
But you mentioned about reverse psychology. I would love to be here giving it socks to you and telling you how it's only Tottenham and doing the Tottenham get battered everywhere they go and all that other bullshit that goes along with finals. But realistically, the analytics point to nothing but other than Heung-min Son standing wherever they have their trophy awarding and hoisting it above his head. The analytics say that Ange Postecoglou does not lose to Manchester United. The analytics say that we have struggled against English sides this season. If it was against any other countries' clubs, I'd have said, do you know what, we're in fair dinkum of a chance. But we have been dog water against other English sides. And that swagger that we have in coming back against your Spanish clubs, your French clubs, or whoever, that doesn't matter today because it's an English derby. It all goes out the window. Yes, we played in athletics ground already. Big poop-de-doo. It's a football pitch. It's got grass and it's got 2 goals. That's all it's got. Manchester United, in terms of goal scoring, again, dog water. Onana has lost every single European competition that he's been in, every single final. So, if you're to look at the analytics, if you're to look at the squads that are starting, I do not see a viable credible path to Manchester United winning that Europa Cup night.
Talking about squads, talking about teams, we are going to give the lineups allowed. I just want to welcome a few people in. Big up the Wayne Bonner. Go on, James. You're good at doing the good. Go on, I'll let you go.
Good evening, everyone. Hope you're all well and pumped for the final. Just setting off for the pub. Wahoo!
See, that was Philip Brady's job. Now you've taken over from the Godfather. That's your job now. Going to good.
I channel my inner Robin Williams from
I
Good
can
Morning
hear that.
Vietnam.
I thought it was Robbie Williams. You're about to start singing "Let Me Entertain You." I'd love that as an intro for my intro on this channel. "Let Me Entertain You" by Robbie Williams. That'd be a great intro song.
That'd be expensive. Is what it would be.
It would be, but Robbie Williams. Him like an Ange. He did change Angels for "We Love Big Ange" instead. He might feel sympathetic to a little Tottenham channel. If you're watching, Robbie, can we use "Let Me Entertain You"? Just write a song for Dermatron. Big up to Michael McDonald. Celtic won the European Cup before an English club. We set the standard. Of course, the mighty Green Army did set the standard. We've got Wayne says, have you seen our season, Rebel? We literally got battered everywhere we go this season.
Apart from the 3 times that you played Manchester United and beat them every single time.
We didn't get battered in Frankfurt. We didn't get battered in Bodo Glim.
Yeah, and we're still singing in the rain. I just won't finish it. Our players that glorious day came from within 10 miles. Yeah, they did actually, to be fair. Before we get into the lineup, guys, there is one important job I've got to do. You're a young lad. We need a score prediction.
So he's already given me it. He's upstairs. He says he's too nervous to watch it.
Yeah.
He is going. Now he's going 4-1 to Spurs.
I'll take that. He's a lad after my own heart.
That is where he's going tonight. He said. I asked him before we came on. I said, little man, it's a big one tonight. It's the cup final. He says it's Spurs versus Man United. It's Dad versus your Uncle Martin. He says, what is the score going to be? He says, Dad, 4-1 Spurs. I'm like, you will do for me. Now get to bed.
Yeah. Do you know what? Every time Steve will back me up in this, hasn't he, Steve?
Mm-hmm.
Every time he's predicted the score prediction, he's got it spot on.
Yeah, the young lad is
he's a lucky charm.
Quite the prognosticator. Oh, and by the way, I do have to say that my lovely ex-wife, my best friend, who literally has no skin in today's game, not only did she come through with the "Come on, you Spurs," but she has also doubled down on my original prediction, which was I didn't tell her. She had no way of knowing, but she says 3-1 Tottenham Hotspur, and Manchester United can go to hell. That is why I love that woman.
Right. Well, these are the lineup, guys. This is what we're waiting for. And this is the Tottenham starting 11. A big surprise is there. A big surprise. But we got a Vicario in goal. We've got the Spanish Dragon, Matador, and Pedro Porro. We've got the Argentinian Bulldog in Christian Romero, who is captain tonight. We've got the fastest defender in the West, Van de Ven. We've got the Italian Stallion in the Doggy. We've got Balloon Man Basuma. I'm sorry, I can't resist that. In Basuma, we've got the Uruguayan General in Bentancur. We've got Papa Sarr in Johnson. We've got the Welsh Dragon, my man, who's gonna get the winner tonight, Brennan Johnson. We've got Dom Solanke, and we've got the Pigeon Man himself, the man, the Brazilian, the man that's a legend, the myth, the Pigeon Man himself, with Charlison on the wings. Guys, very quickly. I'll start with you, Steve. Don't go up to you. No, James, start. I'll start with you, Steve. Yeah, Steve. Very quickly, what do you think of the lineup?
I think it's rather safe from Ange Postecoglou, and I think the one noticeable exception that you were referring to is the exclusion of Sonny in this lineup. I think I think during training, the question was whether or not he had 60 minutes in his legs and whether or not he was able to recover and rebound from Aston Villa. The answer was obviously no. So Sonny is going to be a second half inclusion, which I'm perfectly fine with, especially if this match is close. either we're up one or we're tied. Having somebody with the caliber of Sonny coming off your bench is absolutely huge. But that being said, it also lets me know that this is probably going to be more of an counter-attacking style Tottenham Hotspur as what we have been used to seeing in the European competitions. I go back to Eintracht Frankfurt, I go back to Bodo Glimt, and this is generally how we set up for being able to clog the middle of the field, clog up passing channels, getting turnovers in the midfield, and then turning up and then hitting them on the counterattack. I think that because of that, we're going to be set up with our back four to take chances over the top. No disrespect, Rebel, but I'm not entirely impressed with Manchester United's back line. This is an opportunity for high-level passers like Pedro Porro, Christian Romero, and Mikey Van de Ven to take chances with ball over the top, get Richarlison and Johnson, Solanke, possibly even Sarr on the end of balls, utilize their speed and whip crosses in and just be as dangerous as we possibly can.
James, look, I get you. Actually, this is the bench, and this is where I want to get you actually talk. On the benches, Brendan Austin, Whiteman, we've got Jedi Spence, we've got the Welsh Dragon and Ben Davis, we've got Tiny Danso, we've got the English Bulldog and Archie Gray, we've got Ajay, we've got Nemo, we've got the French Wizard in Odebar, we've got Metellus Tell, William Tell, we've got Captain Fantastic Sonny, and Scarlett, who I predicted yesterday was injured. But suddenly, that's the biggest surprise on the bench. What's your thought of the bench here from Ange? Scarlett, are you surprised?
No, I'm not. Given the fact that, you see, when we are like off air and you asked me for my predicted lineups, I thought Madders and Bergvall may have made the bench, even if they wouldn't have played. I thought they would have been on the bench. With Ange not obviously feeling comfortable just naming them on the bench and just bringing them along just to soak up the atmosphere, I'm not surprised about Dane Scarlett. I think he's a quality attacking player. And he has proved in games that he can come on and make a difference.
Yeah.
And I think that it's a shrewd bit of coaching by Ange to include him in the match day squad. I think he's more than capable of coming on, and he's sort of an enigma to the Manchester United coaches, and they won't know much about him. They'll know some things about him, but let's be honest, they're not going to know the full ins and outs of what kind of play he is, what he's capable of, what he's going to do. And the advantage of Dane Scarlett is he can play across that front three. Yeah, he can play up top. He can play on the wings. He could even come on and play sitting sort of as the number 10. But he is more sort of a winger up front. So I think it's a very shrewd inclusion. Iceman asks why two keepers.
Yeah, I'm just
so basically, I think is including two goalkeepers, Iceman, is, it pains me to say it, as squad depth. We just don't have it. So it's a case of naming the full squad and getting on players. I think that you sort of can see if Ange is going to make substitutions, you sort of see from our bench the possibly 4-5 players who he's going to bring on. With Son, Odegaard, Tell, Mikey, and Dane. They're probably going to be your more attacking ones. If Romero or Van de Ven, it goes. I'm hoping it doesn't go to extra time. I can't see it going to extra time. But if one of them starts to look a bit leggy, or even Doggy or Porro starts to look a bit leggy and a bit run, like the races run, you do have the ability of having someone like Jedi Spence being able to come on. Just hoping he's shaken off idiocies that he showed in the Villa and Palace games, and he'll turn up like he's turned up so many times for us this season, and I've got every confidence in that he's going to be able to do that.
Yeah, I think he will. But I wonder where can Colin in. Colin, welcome, sir. Welcome to this build-up. Do you and Rebel want to read through your Man United team, or do you want me to read through it? It's up to you guys. Do you want to go through your starting 11?
Go on, Rebel. I'll let you do it.
So in goal is the keeper that can't save a goal, Onana. Luke Shaw, Maguire, and Yoro make up the back three. Dorgu, Mazraoui as the wing backs. Bruno and Casemiro deep. Then Mount and Diallo in behind the striker with Hoyland pretty much on his own up top. Difficult to see where goals are going to come from. I did hear that you mentioned that Tottenham are going to focus on a counter-attacking game. If that is the case, it could be a bit turgid because we're going to be playing very, very deep. We're going to be pretty much playing two low blocks. And the way we've succeeded in getting goals is on a counter-attack. So if it's both teams standing up waiting for an opportunity to spring a counter, we could be waiting a while for a goal.
Yeah. And Colin, this is your bench. So do you want to go through your bench there for us?
Sorry. I'm working away as I'm doing things.
Yeah.
Ryan Deere, Amas, Dallo, Evans, Heaven, Lindelof, Collier, Ericsson, Mainu, Ugarte, Garnacho, and Xerxes.
Look, I'm going to go to the boys up on the Tottenham tactics and get what they think.
Can I just pick up something?
Yeah.
Michael, I would appreciate if you would not use that version of Manchester United. That is a horrible, slanderous, offensive use of Manchester United. And the connotations of the Munich air disaster. That is absolutely fucking disgusting, mate.
Right, okay. I will put them on a timeout. There you go. I do apologise. Yeah, I apologise. James, do you want to... I don't know what I was going to say now.
Yeah, it's all right. So what do you think to your bench then, guys? I mean, again, I offer my apologies. I try not to use that terminology as well.
Same here.
Look, I've got family. Com's a Man United fan. My brother's a Man United fan. I never ever refer to it as that. It's always, if I'm shortening your abbreviation, it's Man United. So I offer my apologies as well, Rebel. And hopefully it doesn't sort of ruin your day any more than Spurs beating you is going to ruin your day. Sorry, I had to get it in there. But what do you think to your bench? Do you think it's a strong bench? Do you think it's a bench that could come on and make an impact for you? Or are you concerned about your bench?
Well, if Xerxes fit, it's an option. This Garnacho obviously can offer some sort of attacking trait. He's fast, he's pacey, if a bit selfish. And then beyond that, then you're looking at Ugarte, who could possibly push Bruno up higher in the midfield. But other than that, it's pretty much a defensive option. We have three centre backs and 4 defensive midfielders and a left back. So, in terms of if it's deadlocked at 85 minutes, there is options there, but nothing like back in, I suppose, the pomp of Manchester United, where we had 2 other top-class strikers on the bench.
I mean, look, guys, firstly, again, can we apologise for that reference? And I know what it means. I know what it means. So sorry that actually came up. So we do, again, from everyone here on THFC to Adobe, do apologise to MUFC Spotlight for any offence that was caused. So please accept our apologies, guys. Connor, look, you look at the starting lineup for Manchester United. Hoyland hasn't had the best season, has he? Bruno Fernandes probably been one of your better players. I hear you talking about Ahmed. You absolute right lyricals about it. And he is a great player. Maguire, though, has turned up and got you out of the shit a few times in this competition. Oh God, people are being banned all over the place. I don't even know what's happening in the comments. Where are you with that lineup, Colin? Especially with your lightness up front, with Højlund hasn't been the best striker, but your striker has been coming from Maguire.
Well, yeah. Højlund's a confidence thing. 100% it's a confidence thing. Do I think he should be leading the line tonight? Not really, no. I would have much preferred Xerxes there. That's why I put him in my team that I sent over. But obviously Xerxes just come back from an injury, so we're going to have to make do with what we've got. I'm going to support the lad tonight. That's fine, as I will for everybody. Ahmad, I wax lyrical about Ahmad because he's such a dangerous player. So he's 1 minute the ball's going to him, and then next minute he's flicked it round the player and he's gone. He's a very dangerous player. I mean, he'll be on Van der Ven's side, so he's going to have a very difficult game tonight because Van der Ven's, one of the best, if not the best centre back in the league at the moment. So it's going to be interesting, but I won't be surprised if we see Xerxes come off the bench. And especially if it's late on in the game, we'll probably stick Slabhead up top and try and get something. But I don't see us winning this game, if I'm honest, at all. That midfield of Casemiro and Bruno is going to cause us so many issues.
Yeah. Again, please be respectful to the guys. Please don't use that term. It will not be tolerated in this channel. I'm saying this now. As I'm the head of the tree on this channel, you will be banned. You show respect to any guest that comes on. Either it's a Man United, Manchester United, Arsenal, Chelsea, West Ham, whoever. You show respect. We've built a respectful community here. It's taken me and Colin, and Colin, I'm putting you in this. You and me have worked damn hard building this community, and we're not going to let a couple of individuals ruin what we have built. So again, you will be banned. Respect the people on this channel, respect the guests, respect us, respect them, and you will get full quality for whatever you want on the channel. Any disrespect or rudeness or anything that leads to what happened in 1958 with the Munich air disaster, you will be banned immediately. This is a football game. This is a 90-minute banter is fine. Showing disrespect is not fine. And you will be banned. So I'm putting it out there now. So
Don't kick off yet.
I mean,
0-0.
Yeah, 0-0.
0-0.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand some people outside of the Manchester United bracket probably don't realise it's a slur.
Yeah.
But it has been brought up already once. So
yeah. Look, Steve, I'll stop you. You and James probably take over this. James, I hope you got your tactics board ready.
Bring it out.
Well, Steve, I want to ask you a question about the midfield tree, Basuma, Bentancur, and Sarr. And then, James, I want you to get on to the tactics side. And how do you think Ange will do this? But that midfield three, Sarr, Basuma, Steve, do not play well together. We know that.
Yeah.
Do you think Sarr is going to play in that number 10 role, or do you think Bentancur is? Because I think Bentancur is a better choice for number 10 than Papa Sarr is.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see exactly how the first buildup is going to play out. A part of me thinks that Bentancur and Basuma will be playing in that double pivot, and maybe and depending on exactly how. And how we're able to move through the midfield will determine if Bentancur moves up the field or not, depending on how much leeway Manchester United is going to be able to give us in the midfield, versus what we saw during the last two games where both Crystal Palace and Aston Villa essentially took it away and forced us to stay on the wings. Being able to connect passes through the midfield is going to be pivotal for us. That being said, though, just depending on exactly how deep those guys are going to be playing is also, is there going to be a potential for also Pap Sarr to be able, to get into this match, potentially being a facilitator or a distributor. That's something that, that is going to be something I'm going to be keeping an eye on. But that being said, the way that it sets up as of right now, it looks like that we are going to be playing more of a counter-attacking style game. And Betancourt and Bissouma are going to be tasked with potentially marking Bruno Fernandes out of this match. It's going to be interesting to see exactly how Manchester United is going to play, what their sense of urgency is in the first 30 minutes of this game, or if they are going to be the type of team that is going to be like, all right, cool, here's the ball, and we'll just try to hit you on the counter. That's going to be interesting. This chess match between these two games, and seemingly are going to be almost identically playing that same game, right? So who is going to be able and willing to be on the front foot to start this match, and just exactly how is Tottenham going to be able to move through that midfield is going to be an interesting question that I'm looking forward to seeing. That being said, the question, I guess, for you, James, is if Pape Sarr is playing that 10 role, he's going to need space to be able to move.
Yeah. So,
hang on. Can I just very quickly? Iceman has come back in. Rebel, do you just want? He was asking why was he timed out. Do you want to just explain to him why? So,
the reference that you made to my club, that particular reference is a slur that relates to the Munich air disaster. And I kind of tore somebody else literally 2 minutes before you said it for doing that. So it's a very offensive term to Manchester United fans, and it's a term that basically lauds disaster. It'd be like, chanting about the Hillsborough disaster or any of those other things. It's just not on.
It's the same reason why, just to draw a little bit of a comparison for some of the Spurs fans, it's our football club is based in Jewish history, so the whole community is Jewish history, and we used to chant. I'm not going to say it, but we used to have a chant that was on the terraces, even up to sort of the last 10 years. Where we would call ourselves a certain army. And the Jewish community came out and said that this was offensive to them. They asked the club to tell the fans to stop saying it, so the fans stopped saying it. And we would not like it if someone just referred to us as those. So, and like I say, it's to us, we're not saying anything. It's like our heritage, but it's an anti-Semitic. I can never say that word. Anti-Semitic chant. Yeah, anti-Semitic chant, which we don't want around the club. And Michael says he had no idea, and it was never my intention to insult anyone. That's okay, Michael. You didn't, and that's appreciated. Yeah. But that is the reason why. That is the reason why. So, and we have to set boundaries and guidelines here, so we can, and we will move forward. And I'm pretty sure Rebel will accept your apology.
Right, tactics.
So,
get your tactics board. I want to see your tactics board.
It's here. It's here.
Bloody hell! We've got added to it. We've got digital added little dots on it now. So
no. These are magnets.
Is that what they are?
So
I thought they were your special tablets.
Right. So So these are where the key areas is what I think of where this game's going to play. As you can see, I've got Sarr pushed up a little bit higher here, just sitting behind as for number 10. But I've got these arrows drawn up because this is where I think he's going to excel. Because if Sarr is sitting here, and he's going to be doing this sort of not quite a box to box, but box to midfield. It's also going to give the ability for Bissouma to be able to move, Bentancur to be able to move up, and it's also going to give Bissouma a bit of freedom to move here if Sarr's dropping back into this space as holding. It also solidifies that midfield. If Sarr's dropping back, it gives us a bit of extra strength in that three, because Sarr's natural game is to be sort of sat here, so he'll be able to sat back, and I think this will, so this will help nullify the Manchester United midfield. I've got a doggy playing on the right, obviously linking up with a doggy on the left, obviously linking up with Richarlison. Excuse the right, and I did write it very quickly. And these are going to be the key areas, these wide areas. Porro and Johnson, the doggy and Richarlison. How are we going to be able to get this ball into here? Now, if Richie runs his race and he brings Sonny on, or the game's tying and he brings Sonny on, I think what he'll probably do is he'll probably bring Sonny on for Johnson. And what he'll do is he'll move Richie and Sonny more centralised. So it'll sort of become a 4-2-3-1 narrow rather than a 4-2-3-1 wide. Yeah. And it will then allow us to be able to keep the width with the doggy and Porro coming forward, but also overload that middle a little bit more. Obviously, we've got the big man in goal who's going to keep Manchester United at bay, and the big man up front who's going to put Manchester United to the sword.
I just want to add, Steve, sorry, I just want to add there just a little bit. Just very quickly to you, Rebel, because I'm very conscious I want to bring you guys in as well. With this link up, how much pressure does that put on your fullbacks then? On your fullbacks, Rebel and Column, then the Man United defence? Does that put a lot of pressure on your back four?
Yeah. I think it's no surprise to anyone that our back four has been creaking at the irons. Like, obviously, Euro's an exciting young prospect, as is Aidan Heaven, who's on the bench for us. But I suppose the only relief that I have is that Victor Lindelof isn't on the pitch, because I think if he was on the pitch, that would add to the level of creakiness that Tottenham's team could expose. Like, I suppose it could be, while it might be a pitched battle in the centre of midfield, you obviously have the advantage out there with the players that you have at your disposal at wing back. I think they're far more creative than Manchester United's wing backs. Like, I like Dorgu, I like Mazraoui. They're good, honest wing backs, but what you have up front, I think, is more likely to produce a goal than what Manchester United has up front. And Solanke, the one thing we've seen from him is he has an incredible ability to trap and hold onto a ball. And God help you if you're trying to take it off him. So that then brings in your two wide men who can cut in on the side and possibly take a distribution from him. And if they get through one-on-one with Onana, you'd have to fancy the attacker, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, man. Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, my only issue, I got two. Number one, on the left-hand side, because they're going to try to isolate Richarlison with the overlap off the left side. And we also know that Brendan Johnson's going to be making cuts to that back post. That's just what he does, right? So the question number one is whether or not Richarlison and or Destiny Udogie has the ability to consistently put in a cross that would be beneficial for both Solanke and Johnson. But the other side, James, you were mentioning Pape Sarr's ability to not only push high but also float back to play a more natural position. But I was also going to mention that his movement on the right, because Ange Postecoglou is going to want to isolate Pedro Porro in space, whether it's on the overlap or whether he's just coming in just to facilitate that area underneath Brendan Johnson, right? So those 1-2s between Pape Sarr and Brendan Johnson are going to have to be pinpoint, because one of the things that's going to happen is if that ball goes back to Pape Sarr, Pedro Porro is going to make the overlap, and so that pass is so. Not only does his positioning have to be important, but also his ability to make pinpoint passes in that space in order to free Pedro Porro around the outside right there. Outside of that, again, I think that depending on the buildup and what United is giving them looks, I can see either or Betancourt or Basuma pushing a little bit forward. But that being said, it's going to be, to me, this thing is all going to be exactly. It's going to be just the overlaps in the space and the isolation for those two on the left pushing forward.
Yeah.
I would agree. Listen, lads, I'm going to jump off because I need to get the watch along ready. I would leave in your capable hand, James. You're
Yep.
there to host it there. Colin, Rebel, good luck for the final. Are you coming on for final score? Win, lose, or draw?
Well, I think to be fair to you, when you do inevitably win, it's going to be about a celebration at Tottenham. We'll come on to do a bit of a short post match with you, but we leave you to celebrate because I think it's only fair in that position that you get an opportunity to kind of celebrate your club.
No. Look. No, if I would like, we'll still invite you on. Fair. If you win, we still want you to come on. If we win, we still like to come on. And Colin, that bet, that €100 bet, that's still on, isn't it?
100%.
Yeah. Right, guys, I will see you in the watch along starts at 10:02. So I'm now going to go and get it ready. I leave you in the capable hands of the lads here. We'll see you for the watch along. And come on, you Spurs.
Yeah, so there goes Dermo, and it leaves it all up to us. So, yeah, I mean, just so you know, Colm, as well, your other cousin, the other big Manchester United fan within the family, is currently sat in a pub in Ireland watching the game. It is his birthday today as well.
Ooh,
oh, wow.
Happy birthday.
He's going to be disappointed later then, isn't he?
Yeah. I have tried to break it to him and tell him, but look, I know it's your birthday. Don't get too upset when Man United lose. But yeah, he's there. He's watching it in the pub. It looks. Yeah, it looks. I mean, I don't know if you guys can see it. There's a nice picture there of all the screens and looking pretty good there. So yeah, he'll no doubt there'll be some banter going off all the way through the game. I will be careful about what I say because he does like to lord it over me that we were 3-0 up at Old Trafford one season, and then you came and turned us over 5-3.
Yeah.
So
I do. I apologize.
Go on, Steve. Sorry. No,
I was going to ask Rebel and Colm your keys to victory for Manchester United. What do you see? What do you see as a possible avenue in order for Manchester to hoist the trophy? What are you expect? Like, what do you want to see, and what are you expecting to see?
Should I go first, Colin?
That's a question, isn't it? I think the only way we have a chance in this game is if we learn from the mistakes that we've done in the past. Now, like I said, that Bruno Casemiro partnership, I think it's a nightmare waiting to happen. I'd much prefer, Casemiro and Ugarte there with Bruno up front, further up the field, because Bruno doesn't defend. We know this. But if we get the ball through to him and, use Ahmad as much as possible, Mason Mount, if he's on his form, could do something. But again, like I said, we need to learn from the mistakes of the past. And if you guys decide, we're just going to put balls in from the wing to the back post, we're screwed because we do not defend our back post at all.
Yeah. You mentioned
that's a good question, that, Steve. That's a very good question. I'm trying to think. I don't think it was Luis. I think it was too early for Luis.
It was Casey Keller, former U.S. men's national team goalkeeper.
There we go.
There we go. Little U.S. men's national team history right there. Rebel, you want to?
Yeah, I was about to ask the same question.
You mentioned about avenues to victory. The only way that I see Manchester United having a shot is that Tottenham would operate at 70% of what they're capable of. That there'd be a mistake or a moment of hot-headedness from the likes of Romero or Yves Bissouma that the occasion would cause them to do something that, would be kind of a flash in the moment. We really need Bruno to pull the strings in order to try and even worry your defence, because I think he's our most creative outlet. Mason Mount could be an interesting one. I'll keep an eye on what he does, but I suppose Manchester United's avenues to victory is for us to play beyond what we've shown in Premier League this season. To play basically to the level that we played in Bilbao. And the thing is, we're playing against a different style of football team. We're playing against another English side. And I don't think you can kind of mention that enough, because an English team against an English team is a completely different set of circumstances than playing a final against somebody that's in another country. Like, if you're playing a German team today, you're probably thinking to yourself, okay, we know how the German league teams like to play. You probably have a bit more space and you have more opportunity. These teams see each other 2, 3, and sometimes 4 times a season in England. So even though we mightn't be able to stop the things that Tottenham want to do, we still know what they are to an extent, or at least you'd expect that we should know what they are if the coaches are doing their jobs properly. You know, it's a difficult one, I suppose, because as you rightly said in the viewerships as well, both teams have been brutal. I think that's a fair word to describe it in the Premier League this season. So I think United's avenue to success is basically rashness from players that haven't experienced European finals before and that are known for doing silly stuff.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, I want to ask you guys something, James and Steve.
Yeah.
Obviously, we all know that Romero has an Argentinian hotness about him. You know, he's very quick to react to things. Do you think he's going to be able to cope with Mason Mount? Because he just loves to wind up players constantly, all game, just going at him and at him and at him. Do you think eventually, probably, let that Argentinian fire out, or do you think he's going to be able to control himself? Because I'm presuming that's why we've put Mason Mount on the pitch, to try and get in his head.
I'll let you answer that first, Steve.
I would say potentially, but that being said, you're also talking about a guy who has played in a World Cup final and won it. He's also won 2 Copa Americas. So he has that experience in the biggest matches, not just on the club side, but also the international side as well too. So I think that if anyone you bring up an interesting point, because you're absolutely right. We have a couple players in our starting 11 that do have a tendency to get hot around the collar. And of course, Christian Romero is being one of them, but the other one is Yves Bissouma as well too, because he has a tendency to make stupid decisions, because in certain situations where he gets burned, somebody runs right through him, or he gets his back pocket pick, he has a tendency to immediately react by making a stupid boneheaded play and picking up a yellow card, just when it's with the most inopportune yellows. But that being said, I have a feeling that this match is going to be really heavily scrutinized from a ref standpoint, where you wonder whether or not there is going to be a short fuse when it comes to potential cards, maybe even a red card that puts us in an advantageous position where we're going to have to play a man down, right? So you bring up a very very, very, very good question. But as far as Christian Romero's go, I think that the experience of him playing in the world's biggest finals, I think if anything, he'll understand the magnitude of the situation and not put himself in a position where he's going to take a timely card. But that being said, James, I also look at this as potential keys to Tottenham victory is going to be, number one, can Tottenham control their emotions, right, and not allow somebody to get under their skin to potentially do something that would have them send off. But also, who is going to rise to the challenge to man mark Bruno Fernandes that allows him to not being able to pull the strings every single time Manchester United comes down on the counter or in the buildup, right? Basically taking upon himself to make sure that somebody else besides him beats him, right? Yeah. If you're going to get beat, you don't want to get beat by their entire focal point, right? You're going to try to do whatever you can to man mark that dude out of the game. And to me, those two things I think are going to be key for Tottenham's victory.
Yeah, I agree. I'll go into a bit more detail of that just before we start the watch along, because I am conscious about the time and everything. So just very quickly with Romero, 100 games for Spurs. He's only actually received in total 26 yellow cards and 2 red cards. So that's actually only a card in 1 in every 4 games. So yes, he can be rash, but I do think he's calmed down quite a lot this year. But that being said, score predictions, guys. I'll start with the Manchester United boys. Rebel, what's your score prediction?
I said 3-1 yesterday to Spurs. I'm going to go 2-0 to Spurs because I'm not sure we'll actually get a goal.
Okay, Cole?
I'll give us a goal. I'll go 2-1 Spurs.
Steve?
I'm going to continue with the consistency in which I show, and I've been saying 3-1. I'm going to continue to say 3-1 because we will concede a goal at some point, because we always concede a goal at some point, and it's always a dumb goal as well too. But that being said, I do think that in the context of this fight, I just think Spurs have just a little bit more quality. I think they have different ways of where they can burn you. The question is whether or not we're going to be able to execute. And if this Europa League run tells me anything, that even without possession, we still do take advantage of our chances and we're still able to put the ball in the back of the net. So I'm going to say 3-1. Goals by Solanke. I'm going to say Solanke, Porro, and Sonny in the second half. And Pedro Porro is my man of the match with a goal and 2 assists. Nice.
Okay. Well, I said back at the beginning of the week, I said 3-2 to Spurs. Given I've seen the Manchester United's lineup and how they're playing, I'm gonna side with my son. I'm going big. I'm saying 4-1 Spurs.
Whoa.
So on that note, I will let you guys go get ready for your watch along. Steve, I will see you in our watch along. Let's have a good game, guys, and may the best team win.
Yep. Regardless of loyalties, obviously Manchester United, Tottenham Hotspur. I wish you guys nothing but the best in this final. And I hope you get a hard 90 minutes from your side, just as much as I hope we get a hard 90 as well too. And may the best English side hoist a trophy this afternoon.
Good luck, guys. Enjoy the good game. I'm sure you'll be enjoying it. Don't worry.
For the 50 of the people that are watching with us, please do join us on the watch along. Please hit the like and subscribe. It takes nothing from you to like and subscribe, and it all helps us keep giving you the content that you love and that you like. So thanks very much. Please do join us on the watch along, and we will see you there. And Steve, thank you very much, my man, and I'll see you in the watch along.
Sounds like a plan.